Save 30 to 60% on thousands of gifts. Only at Ross.
Have a birthday splash at the aquatic park. Call 503-557-SURF.
Tonight's headlines. President Bush says Iraq inspections not going well. Al-Qaeda linked to attack on jetliner. Supreme Court takes big affirmative action case. Also tonight, U.S. airlines admit there's little protection for aircraft facing threats of missile attacks. A new study blames cell phones for thousands of highway deaths. But should there be a ban? And certified personal trainers. What does certified mean? Probably not what you think. Eye on America investigates.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. Indications pointing to a new U.S.-led war with Iraq are increasing. President Bush made a point of saying today he does not like the way UN weapons inspections are going, and he made it clear the United States intends to enforce a deadline this coming Sunday for Saddam Hussein to deliver a complete list of his weaponry. CBS News White House correspondent Bill Plant has the latest on the showdown with Saddam.
As the deadline approaches for Iraq to declare its arsenal, and with UN inspections so far finding nothing, Washington and London today fired a volley of verbal warning shots at Baghdad, suggesting they believe that war is probably inevitable.
Has Saddam Hussein changed his behavior of the last 11 years? So far, the signs are not encouraging.
Earlier today, the British government released this report, which accuses Saddam of using systematic torture as a deliberate tactic to hold power. Human rights activists questioned the timing, suggesting it was part of a coordinated ramp-up to war, and saying that though the allegations may be true, they are not new. The vice president, who has been hostile to UN inspections from the beginning, also sounded the administration's ultimatum: comply or else.
Delay and defiance will invite the severest consequences.
Cheney warned last summer that inspections could provide false comfort that Saddam was, quote, back in his box. And now that inspectors have returned and Iraq so far appears cooperative, Mideast expert Fuad Ajami says the case for war becomes more difficult.
Once you empower the United Nations and once you empower the inspections regime, you have to go the route and you have to stay with this process until the process is completely discredited.
And though U.S. intelligence says there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, what happens if inspectors fail to find them?
If it comes to that and we discover that he doesn't have much there, then the opportunity for regime change is forfeited.
The UN inspectors may be focused on disarming Iraq, but the Bush administration is still set on regime change. They've made it very clear that Saddam Hussein is damned if he does admit to having weapons of mass destruction, and still damned if he doesn't. Dan?
Bill Plant reporting live from the windy White House. Inside Iraq today, the weapons hunters made their rounds, and as CBS's Mark Phillips reports from Baghdad, for the first time since inspections resumed last week, they were not satisfied with what they found.
The fog cloaking Iraq's alleged illegal weapons programs just got thicker, as thick as the mist through which the UN inspectors drove this morning. At this plant in Baghdad, where UN inspectors in the past found prohibited long-range missiles that could hit Israel and U.S. bases in the Gulf, these inspectors discovered that some crucial equipment that had been disabled by the UN when they were last here was missing. The Iraqis said some of the missing machinery had been destroyed in the 1998 bombing when the plant was hit by 18 cruise missiles. Other equipment, they say, has been moved away from the rubble to another site. The UN wants to know where and why. This discovery coincides with intelligence reports suggesting that incriminating documents may have been hidden in private homes. One by one, the UN has been combing through the possible weapons sites, examining a high-tech facility where equipment for producing bomb-grade uranium could be built, visiting a base where the Iraqis say they use helicopters for crop spraying, but where it's known they were once also trying to adapt them to spray biological agents, killer germs, on enemy troops. And each inspection has been followed by a ritual denial.
That all what has been said and all what has been written about the country is a false lie.
The UN inspectors know that what they really need here is what their predecessors got, a big break, a high-profile defection, or an Iraqi scientist with a conscience looking for a way out. Last time, though, it took several years for such an informer to emerge. This time, the inspectors know it probably has to happen in a few weeks. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Baghdad.
Suspicions that Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda network was behind last week's terror attack on Israelis in Kenya got new support today. A message on a militant Arabic website claimed the attacks as al-Qaeda operations. U.S. counterterrorism officials consider the claim, quote, credible. And CBS's David Martin reports investigators in Kenya have turned up hard evidence of an al-Qaeda connection.
The anti-aircraft missile launchers found at the scene of the crime are the first real evidence linking al-Qaeda to the attempt to shoot down that Israeli airliner shortly after it took off from Mombasa. The serial numbers on those Russian-made launchers are very close to the number on another launcher found last May outside this airbase in Saudi Arabia, where it had been used by a known al-Qaeda operative in an unsuccessful attempt to shoot down an American military aircraft.
Even before the evidence of the serial numbers surfaced, U.S. officials were saying the near simultaneous attacks on 2 Israeli targets in Kenya were all the trademarks of an al-Qaeda operation.
The suicide attack on the Israeli resort in Mombasa came within minutes of the attempt to shoot down the Israeli airliner and was a carbon copy of the 1998 suicide attack on the American embassy in Nairobi, which occurred within minutes of a second attack on the U.S. embassy in Tanzania. What's different is that this would be the first known attempt by al-Qaeda to shoot down a commercial airliner, and the first known attack by al-Qaeda against an Israeli target. Osama bin Laden has made no secret of his hatred for Israel, but he has concentrated on killing Americans and even been criticized in the Arab world for going after the wrong target.
I think now he said to everybody, look, I haven't forgotten the Israeli. I'm going to the bull's eye, and I'm attacking the Israeli.
The passengers aboard that Israeli plane all have a story to tell about how they cheated death, but they may also be remembered as the first targets in a new phase of bin Laden's holy war. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
It has been a quarter century since the U.S. Supreme Court last took up the issue of race and affirmative action in college admissions. The justices, sharply divided, settled the case, but not the national debate. Today, Cheryl Atkinson reports, the court decided to take another shot at it, with 7 new justices and 2 new test cases.
The cases were brought by 3 students, all denied admission to the University of Michigan, they believe, because they're white. Jennifer Gratz was a community volunteer and class officer with a 3.8 grade point average. Not good enough, apparently, to get in.
It's common knowledge. They make it known that they use race and that there is a double standard.
She's joined by Barbara Grutter, a mother who worked her way through college at night with a straight A average, but who also didn't make the grade to get into the University of Michigan Law School. She told 60 Minutes' Ed Bradley her slot went to a less qualified minority.
They say things like we're selective, but they're making selections on racial lines.
Like many colleges, the University of Michigan gives equally qualified minorities an edge over whites. A perfect SAT score is worth 12 points, an outstanding essay just 1, but being a minority is worth 20 points. Without the allowances, the number of minority first-year law students at the university would plunge from 15% to less than 4%. The university's president argues that would be a huge loss.
So we think that diverse classroom offers the very best learning environment that students can possibly have, and that's what our admissions policies do.
Both sides are eager to have the court answer questions left open by a 1978 ruling which outlawed setting aside a specific number of places for minority students, but said race could still be a factor in college admissions.
And of course, that left a lot of room for people to interpret how much of a factor and how bad are quotas, and what if the effect of preferences is a quota system, but not the intent.
The court's ruling could force many colleges to rethink their admissions policies, even affect affirmative action in other forums like the military. The justices will decide by next June. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News at the Supreme Court.
In another case, the Supreme Court agreed today to hear a challenge to state sodomy laws. 13 states have them. At issue is whether the states may prosecute gays and lesbians for having sex. On the CBS Market Watch, the holiday shopping season is off to an encouraging start for America's retailers. Sales for the 2 days after Thanksgiving were up more than 10% over last year. That word gave Wall Street a boost in the early going today. Then a negative report about manufacturing sent stocks lower, and they ended the day mixed. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, what if this happened at a U.S. airport? Can American air travelers be protected from terrorists with mobile missile launchers?
Morning, Joe. New haircut? No. New shoes? No.
Hey, Joe. You been working out?
No.
Hey, Joe. Shave your mustache?
Nope. You sure that's not a new haircut?
Yes.
Did you just get back from vacation?
No.
Did you get a promotion?
No.
Did I?
No.
No.
What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. To learn more, visit Viagra.com. Ask your doctor and see the difference.
Why would you want another credit card? Well, what if it supported your school, reflected your interests, gave you something back? Bank One gives you over 1,200 different cards to choose from, so you can choose the one that's right for you. Still carrying around someone else's credit card? Maybe it's time you got one of your own.
There are over 16,000 nursing homes nationwide. 7,800 are better at helping people walk after surgery. 4 are close to Kathy Speck's home.
Introducing 1-800-MEDICARE, your source for healthcare information. We'll help narrow your search for nursing homes so you can find one that's right for you or a loved one.
Kathy helped her mom choose one that had her playing hide and seek by her birthday.
From comparing nursing homes to finding supplemental insurance programs, call 1-800-MEDICARE.
We do several hundred septic system repairs a year. If your septic system fails, you're going to run into several problems. It will either back up into the yard, into the house. I would recommend you use Rid-X once a month. It is cheaper to maintain your septic system, a lot cheaper.
This is good news for denture wearers.
It's Polygrip's new ooze control tip. Unlike round tips, it's shaped to spread a flat ribbon for less ooze.
With the ooze control tip, it's much easier.
Super Polygrip's new tip, less ooze. It's big news.
After a meal like this, all you want to feel in your stomach is a good belly laugh. That's why for gassy foods, there's Beano. Taken right before you eat, Beano's natural enzyme helps prevent gas before it even starts. Enjoy food without gas.
So, you're back screaming, oh no! Try a Thermacare heat wrap. 8 hours of heat to relax those tight muscles. So circulation flows in, helping pain flow out. Thermacare heat wraps. Feel the difference between can't and can.
When terrorists tried to shoot down an Israeli charter jet with shoulder-fired missiles in Kenya last week, the passengers got lucky. Both Russian-designed missiles, rip-offs of the old U.S. Stingers, came close but missed. All of this raised the question, could such an attack happen in the United States? Correspondent Bob Orr, who covers aviation for CBS News, looks tonight at the potential threat.
At the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, spectators gather to watch takeoffs. Washington's Reagan National, jetliners buzz a small park at the end of the runway. Great vistas for plane watchers, but potential launch sites for terrorists with missiles.
This is definitely a very vulnerable area in aviation, which is why I'm very surprised it really hasn't been exploited before.
Sources say only bombs now present a greater threat than missiles to commercial aviation. And the recent attempt to bring down the Israeli jetliner in Kenya has heightened concerns. In May, after a missile was fired at a U.S. military plane in Saudi Arabia, the FBI warned al-Qaeda could target U.S. passenger planes. Law enforcement agencies in the United States, the FBI said, should remain alert to the potential use of shoulder-fired missiles against U.S. planes. There are thousands of leftover Cold War missiles available on the black market. Some are featured on al-Qaeda training tapes. But terrorism expert Bruce Hoffman says while they're easy to obtain, the missiles are difficult to use.
It requires a considerable amount of training, considerable expertise, and then a high degree of luck to actually use them effectively. And that's dissuaded many terrorist groups from employing them.
Many Israeli passenger jets and U.S. military planes, including Air Force One, are equipped with missile defense systems, including flares or chaff that can be dropped to divert a missile off course. But it would cost
$3 million to protect each of the 11,000 U.S. passenger planes. And it's not practical to secure the area surrounding 400 U.S. airports. While the threat is real, analysts say, there simply is no certain defense. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
The Carnival cruise ship Fascination returned home to Florida today with a lot of bad memories about a trip to the Bahamas one passenger described as the cruise from hell. Nearly 200 people came down with a stomach virus similar to one that sickened more than 1,000 people recently on other cruise ships. About a dozen crew members remained aboard the cruise ship Windsong in the South Pacific tonight after an engine room fire forced evacuation of about 200 passengers and crew. The 127 passengers, mostly Americans, were taken to Tahiti for flights home. Up next now on the CBS Evening News, driving to distraction. More drivers than ever are on the phone when they're on the road. It's proving to be a deadly combination.
Do you know about the purple pill called Nexium?
I know.
I know.
You should know about it too. Talk to your doctor about whether Nexium is right for you.
Find out about the purple pill called Nexium.
Still scratching that itchy scalp? Scratching isn't healthy for it. Maximum Strength Scalpicin promotes a healthier scalp. It stops itching, stops scratching. Not a shampoo, Maximum Strength Scalpicin is a clear, odorless liquid with the itch medicine doctors recommend. Plus scalp nourishing aloe. Promote a healthier scalp with Scalpicin.
Wish your dentures were this comfortable? Bob's denture adhesive is C-Bond.
Bought it for hold, love it for comfort.
Only C-Bond clings wall to wall with 3 strong adhesives in a thin velvet soft wafer. No gaps, no ooze. C-Bond, buy it for hold.
Love it for comfort.
Hey, guys.
Driveway's almost done.
Great.
But I'm as hungry as a polar bear.
Clam chowder?
Wow, Campbell's soup.
Mm-hmm.
That was fine when we wore snowsuits. We're adults now. There's a better tasting soup, Progresso New England Clam Chowder.
It has more chunks of clams and potatoes, and now it's thicker and creamier. It's preferred 2-to-1 over Campbell's Clam Chowder.
This is better.
It's still snowing out. Let's make snow angels.
Yeah.
Discover the better taste of Progresso.
In 1935, Foxwood Farm started with 1 horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred. The truck, a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses. But there's still only 1 truck. Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Body pain? Back pain? Introducing new Bear Back and Body. It's Bear Aspirin plus a special pain relief enhancer to relieve sore backs and soothe aching muscles fast. New Bear Back and Body. Get moving again pain-free.
C. Move. Beat. The future of vitamin C is here. Ester C, a patented non-acidic vitamin C that supports your immune system and the health of your eyes, joints, and cardiovascular system. Don't settle for less. Ester C, your body will know the difference.
Jana has a severe allergy to peanuts. It's so bad, it affects nearly every aspect of her life. And she's just one of over 1.5 million Americans who are also allergic. So what's being done? Tomorrow, the latest research on a possible vaccine. An important Health Watch report on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
On the CBS Weather Watch, a preview of winter. This is Buffalo, New York, with as much as 2 feet of snow on the ground. Driving was next to impossible at times. Even the police were in need of a tow. The stormy weather spread to the Midwest, where the morning commute was a slow go in Detroit. Chicago could have 6 inches of snow by tomorrow. Drivers love the peace of mind and sense of security that cell phones bring them, but a new study out today blames use of the phones while driving for about 6% of the accidents on America's roads. CBS's Sandra Hughes has details.
With more than 120 million cellular phone owners in America, it often seems like every person behind the wheel of a car is carrying on a conversation, apparently to distraction.
The trend appears to be towards greater risk because people are using these devices more often and more people are using them.
Harvard University's Center for Risk Analysis studied existing information on deaths and injuries estimating cell phone use by motorists is causing 2,600 deaths a year. That's up from just 1,000 2 years ago. 570,000 injuries a year and 1.5 million instances of property damage are also blamed on cell phone use. In one high-profile case, supermodel Nikki Taylor, a spokesperson for Nokia cellular phones, was critically hurt when the driver of a car she was in reached for his cell phone and crashed. New York State has a law banning handheld phone use in cars, and 22 more states are considering restricting it.
Safety, your most important call.
The cell phone industry is running ads about car phone use.
Ask yourself, will this call distract me from my first responsibility to drive safely?
But it also questions the Harvard findings. Both sides admit the data are sketchy because there's no uniform standard for reporting accidents involving cell phones. And industry officials argue cell phones aren't the worst distraction.
It ranges from your CD changer to your heater to talking to the person next to you or worrying about the kids in the back seat.
Or eating or drinking or smoking. The list goes on, and so do the studies that show it's dangerous to drive under the influence of anything. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Statistics show that black men in the United States die of prostate cancer more than twice as often as white men. But a new study by researchers at the University of Cincinnati finds that blacks can be cured just as often as whites if the cancer is caught and treated early. Doctors say the study underscores the need for more screening of black men so the cancer can be detected in time. Healthy children from 6 months to 2 years old should get flu shots. That is the new recommendation today from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Government figures show infants with the flu wind up in the hospital as often as adults over 50. You're watching the CBS Evening News, and up next, Eye on America looks into certified personal trainers. How can you know they know what they're doing?
Even if you brush your dentures every day, you're missing something. Brushing can miss odor-causing food particles trapped in crevices. Polydent with more polyvescent power scrubs out what brushing misses. Polydent every day for better odor control.
Very funny. What?
For that long road to maturity, we'll be there.
You know, some people get heartburn so often they need a prescription every single day. What about the rest of us? For occasional heartburn, try Pepcid first. You take it only when you need it. Take Pepcid AC when you know heartburn's coming, and stop it before it starts. Or Pepcid Complete after heartburn's already hit. It stops heartburn fast and lasts all day. No prescription required. Pepcid. Just one, and heartburn's done.
Right now at Red Lobster, come get all the shrimp you can dip, pop, twirl, and even eat. So come in for an endless supply of the ocean's finest finger food. All you can eat shrimp. Now at Red Lobster. Wherever you go, whatever you go through, dry, scratchy, irritated eyes don't have to come with the territory. You've got Visine Tears. Whenever eyes get dry, scratchy, irritated, Visine Tears can soothe, moisturize, and protect like your own natural tears. And best of all, Visine Tears is safe to use as often as you need. Visine Tears relieves dry eyes like your own natural tears.
One is fun, but two is funner. One's not bad, but two's my number. Together life feels grand. Together with my best friend.
Where can you find browsing built for two? Introducing MSN 8, where advanced Microsoft software lets you link up with a friend and see the best of the web together. For browsing AOL can't match, it's better with the butterfly. Call 866-TRY-MSN 8.
It was a major overhaul for a Portland area road, and people aren't the only ones who will reap the benefits of the changes. The complete story tonight at 6.
Now, a quick look at some of the stories we were working on for later this week. Tomorrow, we'll tell you about the search for a safer peanut for those who are dangerously allergic. Later in the week, those big SUVs may be more dangerous than you thought. Why the driver can't always see you. And then later, a consumer alert about criminal cashiers and the scam they're pulling at the checkout. Fitness-conscious Americans pour millions into health clubs, often hiring personal trainers to supervise their workouts. There are at least 80,000 trainers nationwide, including many who call themselves certified professionals. But certified does not necessarily mean qualified, as Wyatt Andrews found out in this Eye on America follow-up investigation.
Yeah, let's go 4 more.
2 more, Lane, come on. Last one right here. Like anyone who has ever hired a certified personal trainer, Dr. Jacob Ulferson trusted his trainer completely. Trusted him even when an intense exercise called a step-up began to cause him severe pain.
He had excruciating pain in his lower back. He lost the feeling in his leg.
Andy Custer, Dr. Ulferson's attorney, says Ulferson injured a disc in his back that day when the trainer urged him to ignore the pain. This was his testimony.
I attempted to stop the exercise, but was pushed against my will.
Pushed against his will? Meaning keep going?
Keep going. This is good for you. Just finish the exercise.
The trainer who worked at this Gold's Gym in Florida denies the incident ever happened, but both his insurance company and the gym settled out of court. Dr. Ulferson did not want to comment, but his lawsuit raises a serious question. Is a certified trainer always qualified? The trainer, during a pre-trial deposition, was asked what made him a certified personal trainer. He was certified, he insisted, through a mail-order course consisting of a single textbook followed by a 4-hour exam.
There's a real risk of being injured.
Professor Larry Ham, who teaches exercise science at George Washington University,
All right, we'll go another 10.
warns that health club consumers are on their own. With more than 200 certifications available, Ham says some trainers are first-rate experts in everything from physiology to body fat composition, while others simply buy a credential online.
You're saying you can pay $40, $100 on the internet.
Right.
And what happens?
And you'll end up getting a certificate in the mail that you can put on your wall that claims you're a certified something.
Are you certified?
Absolutely.
In any gym in America, the certifications listed by the trainers are all over the map.
And National Academy of Sports Medicine.
The National Athletic Training Association.
National certification with NSPA? So many health clubs protect themselves and their clients by using outside contractors like Wolf Gottschalk to hire the trainers. He requires a college degree in exercise, not just a certification.
There are so many acronyms out there for certifications and there is no industry standard into becoming a trainer.
I want you to tell me where you would have him stop his squat.
Other gyms train the trainers themselves. In this billion-dollar industry where training can cost more than $100 an hour, business is pumped, but high demand is part of the problem. Pretenders are blending in with the professionals. Excellent. Good job. In Washington, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
What's next? That's part of our world tonight. Dan Rather inviting you to join us again tomorrow for more news that matters on the CBS Evening News. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com. AOL keyword CBS News. Allergic to peanuts? Latest research on a vaccine tomorrow. Experience CBS News. Next on KOIN 6 News at 6.
Governor Kitzhaber apologizes for Oregon's atrocities. Tonight, hear the heartbreaking story of one woman sterilized by the state.
Thousands of dollars of questionable spending was uncovered. Now the director of the Oregon Lottery is stepping down.
Along with holiday cards, you may soon find a citation in your mailbox for something you don't even remember. The crackdown to get your money in Multnomah County.
Now, with Mike Donahue and Julie Emery, this is KOIN 6 News at 6.
On this Monday night, hello and welcome to KOIN 6 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Julie Emery.
And I'm Mike Donahue. For more than 60 years, Oregon did something many people...
The gift no other diamond can give. Hearts on Fire, the world's most perfectly cut diamond.
Come experience the Hearts on Fire diamond. Smith & Bevel Jewelers in Beaverton Town Square.
Celebrate 20 years of trees and tradition.
At the Providence Festival of Trees.
Festive holiday displays, arts and crafts, plus Santa will be on hand for the kids.
Proceeds benefit Providence Children's Services and Cancer Research.
The Providence Festival of Trees at the Oregon Convention Center.
I love the 80s.
Mix 107.5.
They play all my favorites.
We listen all day at work. It's a great mix.
Mix 107.5, home of the no repeat workday and the best songs of the 80s and more.
I love all the songs.
Jeff Gianola and Karen Adams, weeknights on KOIN 6 News.